I wasn't thinking about cancer at all.
You never know when you're going to get hit by a cancer bus.
How would you feel if you were told you had cancer? What would you do?
For many cancer patients, Tower Cancer Research Foundation is the place they turn for help. Tower is on the front line of some of the most progressive thinking in the battle to eradicate cancer. The foundation focuses on innovative research, new clinical trials, and education. Tower is about hope, healing, and humanity.
The first and most important thing is hope. People who are hopeless cannot continue. Healing is what our goal is, to try to make people better, no matter how difficult that is. But it has to be done with a compassionate and empathetic touch, and the humanity expresses that. We began Tower Cancer Research with the intent of making research protocols available to patients who would have to go elsewhere because of the lack of opportunity for many patients to obtain clinical trials and get cutting-edge research.
Founded just over a decade ago in Los Angeles, Tower Foundation has greatly improved patients' access to new agents and methodologies, helping them understand and weigh their treatment options.
I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in September of '05. That was a while ago, and been through a lot. There was no surgery. There was chemo and radiation. The chemo is not a lot of fun. Several months ago, at least the cancer on the pancreas was eliminated. However, it metastasized, and I have 3 spots in my lungs. They gave me the option of going into the trial. It might work, and if it does, then it certainly would be a much more benign way to treat cancer. I'm taking 3 pills in the morning and 3 pills in the evening. It essentially cuts off the food supply to the cancer cell rather than poisons the system, which is what chemotherapy does. I don't know where I would be if I hadn't ended up at Tower. Hopefully it'll help me and maybe someone else too. I'm looking forward to a long, long life.
Tower Foundation is a patient's greatest ally. They are at the forefront of some of the newest clinical trials in cancer treatment.
These new trials are the breakthroughs of cancer research and should lead to potential remissions and possibly cures in many patients who were previously hopeless in their cancer care.
And through it all, Tower staff never loses sight of the human perspective.
I found a staff that are as loving and kind. The nurses, the doctors, the technicians, they are like a family. It's the greatest gift of all.
And success in clinical trials is closely tied to support of some of our country's leading researchers.
Clinical trials are the lifeblood of cancer therapy. Collaborations with other institutions are essential. We have affiliations with institutions such as TGen with City of Hope and many of the large pharmaceutical companies.
With the fellowships we have here at UCLA through the Tower Cancer Research Foundation, we've had a great interaction. They have been able to provide resources to train new fellows, new clinicians, new scientists that are ready to take on the new cancer therapies, and that's been invaluable.
My relationship with the physicians in that practice and at the foundation go back over 25 years. By working on clinical trials together, they represent what we hope is going to be the new and more successful treatments. This allows patients to realize they're getting not yesterday's treatment, but they're getting really the best we know how to do today and maybe even tomorrow.
I was diagnosed with glioblastoma, which is a type of brain cancer, one of the worst types of brain cancer, one of the most lethal. And I was diagnosed in August of 2004. My wife at the time was 6 months pregnant. The doctor put that MRI up on the light box on the wall. You didn't have to be a surgeon to see what was going on. The tennis ball was quite clear to the layperson that there was a serious issue here. The goal at that time was to survive to the birth of my baby. After I had the surgery, Tower offered me hope as in an option for another type of treatment that I hadn't been offered prior. I was given hope for a very, some people might say, a hopeless disease. Cancer in and of itself hadn't occurred to me, let alone being involved in a trial. The type of stem cell transplant I had is called autologous, meaning from me to me. They give you a drug that gets the stem cells to migrate out of your bone marrow. They freeze it, give you a huge amount of chemotherapy, which obliterates everything, hopefully the cancer, and then thaw that out and give it back to you to repopulate your body with your own stem cells. And I feel very fortunate that I ended up at Tower. I would love to be normal, see my daughter grow, our marriage flourish. That's all I desire.
It'll make you nice and toasty.
From support groups to the Patient-to-Patient Bosom Buddies program and nutritional care, Tower reaches out to help patients in the pursuit of life.
You can't just treat the body and not treat the emotions and not treat the spirit.
I think of these women as survivalists. It can be a really lonely place, a very scary place out in the middle of nowhere, but this group has become our base camp, and we come here every week and we restore ourselves.
In April 2003, 6 weeks after the birth of my son, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. We were playing and I noticed that I had a mass in my groin area. Right now, the conventional treatment for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is chemotherapy and or radiation therapy. Initially, when I heard about what my options were, I was fearful. I had seen my mother go through many sessions of chemotherapy. I needed to make sure that I was going to be healthy for my son. Everything was about me being able to be there for my child. I was excited to hear that there was this great treatment. I felt confident that despite it being a blind study, the doctor reassured me that they would be watching me very closely. The doctors told me that they were going to be extracting my lymph node and they would be taking out some of the lymphoma cells and they would be creating a vaccine based on those lymphoma cells and my specific DNA. Initially, I was given the vaccine every month and I would get a shot in each arm. Since starting treatment, I feel normal, I feel healthy, I have energy, I feel great. The people at Tower were so encouraging and so positive. What should have been, one of the most scary times of my life has actually been, a really positive time. I feel so fortunate and so blessed that I really have not had any impact in my life and I've been able to take care of my son and we've had a really normal life. I'm just going to enjoy the rest of our lives together, take stock of every moment and watch my son grow up. Mwah. I love you so much.
Stories of success continue to grow within the Tower family of patients, and it's from that growth they learn more and ultimately can help more people.
They are thinking, they are caring, they are thorough.
Being part of the research program has allowed me to take drugs that have added time to my life and have given me a quality life.
The Tower Cancer Research Foundation made a huge difference in my life, and hopefully in the future it will make a great difference in many people's lives.
To see patients that are previously would have had death sentences that continue to live for very long periods of time and potentially be cured, there's nothing more gratifying than that.